Have you ever heard the phrase life goes on? It's usually said after a big event, a death, some kind of loss, some kind of big change or shift. What does life goes on really mean? And how does it go on, especially after your world entirely changes? Hi, I'm Tami Hendrix. I'm an animal communicator, compassionate medium, and healer. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about how to be present with your emotions even while the world may be crumbling around you. It's a big topic and one that I think comes up when we have natural disasters, things are happening that we can't control, we feel powerless, we feel vulnerable. In my instance, Hurricane Helene ripped through Asheville, North Carolina in a very unusual and powerful way, taking out buildings, roads, flooding streets, decimating complete areas. So the life I knew in Asheville, the bears roaming around in the neighborhood, the neighbors, smiling and laughing, the tourists coming in to see the beautiful mountains and the beautiful scenery, all changed in an instant. It got really quiet. No power, no water, no cell service. It can feel quite isolating, even as we're all experiencing that within our own homes or wherever we are. Hurricanes in general cause us to clear paths. They literally block our paths, but then we have to go to the task of clearing the path. And that usually involves creating new paths. So in the case of the roads being washed out in the mountains, how do you rebuild that when there's this big crater? Well, they'll usually go onto the mountainside and create another avenue, another area to go through. And while all of this is happening, while there's such devastation, we all have emotions around it. For me, it was, like I'm sure for a lot of people, shock and dismay and a surreal feel that things can change so quickly. We think we're so much in control, and life always proves us, differently. So the animals also experience anything we do in life. They experience our emotions, they absorb them. We have our experience of whatever's happening, and they do too, actually. They have their experience of what a hurricane would look like. Some of the animals in the area were stranded. Their people were airlifted in an emergency situation, and the pets didn't come, so they're waiting for their owners to come back. Some were displaced and separated from their people, and they're wandering the streets. Some people are finding animals that they take in and they take care of. What I've noticed in especially natural disasters, it brings people together. If you think about it, we live our lives a lot of times pretty separately. We're busy with our own agenda, our to-do list, our responsibilities, the ever important responsibilities that we do have. And so it can be very myopic. We keep a very linear look on things. And so when an event like a hurricane or tornado or any kind of an earthquake happens, it happens to all of us. It happens to us collectively, animal and human, the wildlife, the domestic animals, all of us experience this together. What I find, especially in this rebuild situation, which is very painstakingly slow, it seems, is we look around at all the pieces that are out of place and we try to find order. We try to create order in our lives so that our routines that have been upended, we can somehow find a new routine or a new path to go on. And we do that together. It's like we wake up in the room and notice, oh, you're here in line with me. Hi, how are you? And are you okay? We blink awake, which I think is part of the gift in any disaster, any circumstance, any challenge we might have. There's always an opportunity hidden within that. And sometimes not that hidden, because when we're forced out of our comfort zones, we grow. In fact, that's the only time we do grow. When we stay the same in our little box of comfort, we don't really stretch. Hurricanes, tornadoes, natural disasters, life events, transitions, things that change our lives in a second, they definitely cause us to grow. And while we're growing, we're also having all these different emotions that go on in us. And I think in any case, when there's the front line, the first responders, we have to be very, very focused on what's in front of us. How do I help you? What's the practical thing to do? And maybe it's at the end of the day that we sit down and we're like, take a deep breath and look around us. But do we notice our emotions? How present are you with your emotions in a day? Have you been present all your life? Animals are the best teachers ever because even in stressful situations, they're just doing stress. They're just doing anxiety. They're doing concern. And that may come in the form of howling or pacing or going in circles or just standing still and freezing. It all is the same. We do the very same thing. And I think the important thing for now, especially with so many global things going on and so much change in all of our lives, is to be present to those myriad of changing emotions, ones that you have like a carousel going on, heart shapes that change. And for going through disasters, natural disasters, where there's so much destruction and there's so many endings and losses, we have broken heart shapes, we have fragmented heart shapes, despairing heart shapes, we have worried heart shapes. There's so many things that we're feeling in any given moment. And it's important during times like these because the emotions are energy in motion, and they are actually trying to come to the surface and through our bodies, because that's where we feel our emotions, right? Through our bodies out to process, to release. So if you have to cry, if you have to yell, again, the animals will be right where they are, always ever present to that. And I think that that's what part of all of these life-changing events are calling for us to be. Don't be checked out. Don't ignore who's right next to you. We live on the same planet. We're a collective. And how does life go on after that? Individually, collectively, how do we pick up the pieces? Have you ever felt that way, that you just don't know how to pick up the pieces, how to move forward, what to do to heal? Not only does our land need to heal, but our psyches, our bodies, our emotions are in need of healing. And I always love when I look around and I see people helping each other, strangers that are no longer strangers. Disaster especially is a great equalizer. We realize, you know what, there's no hierarchy. I am not better than you. No one breed is better than another. We're all in this together. Can we hold hands? And that's the beauty of any kind of situation that is a huge challenge, is we feel more alive. And that aliveness comes through heart love and heart sharing. It's giving out of resources within. What inner resources do you have that you've tapped into recently? Let's say you had some big event happen. It took you out of your comfort zone. It took you out of your routine. It changed the web of your reality in an instant. Did you look within? Did you find some resilience? Did you find some courage? What did you find in yourself that you've always had, but you haven't called upon it recently because things were going pretty good. Things were going kind of smoothly. And then all of a sudden, things changed. What is that called forth within you? It's good to note because those are the pieces that are trying to come out to be seen to help us grow forward. So life goes on may be the new normal, right? It's the new path. It's, hey, neighbor, I didn't really know you. You were in my building, but I can see you need help. What do you need? And to be vulnerable, what do I need? Can I ask you for help? Can I borrow something? Do you have a power cord I can use? Where in our lives can we offer more love? And where in our lives can we receive more love? Well, the animals, ever the teachers, are always going to show us that exactly in the moment. And if they need to rest, they rest. They do exactly what their bodies tell them to do. So it would be good for us to watch that and to find those places in us that are resisting a little, uncomfortable. What am I not paying attention to? I think for me, I've been so busy trying to put things in order, helping. I've been bringing supplies back and forth for the animals and the people in need. And the need is so great right now in any area like that and in the surrounding Asheville areas where just the basic human needs are not being met. There's so much outpouring that we actually don't take care of ourselves. So it's important to do a check-in, like take the pulse of where you are. What do you need right now? What can you give yourself? How can you self-soothe? I had a client one time super upset with her dog who had come home from a couple of days with a friend. They had been playing, lots of other animals. The dog had had a party while she was gone. And so she gets him in the house and she's like ready to cuddle, hug me, love me. Dog takes a hike, goes into the bedroom and totally ignores her. And she was quite offended and very put off by it, and basically telling me that he needed to change what he did. And what he said, I just was trying to be quiet. He was self-soothing. Animals know how to self-soothe. Do we know how to? So how do you become present when you're stressed, when you're anxious? What kind of things do you do? I go on a bike ride. That's great. And it moves it through my body. And I get to smell nature and see everything. But what if I can't? The hurricane blocks the roads. What things can I do? Well, I can sit with my animals, basically put myself in timeout when I get too anxious and sit, take a deep breath, let out the sound of, ah. I can, as Sonia Choquette recommends, look around the room. I see a lamp. I see my water. I see my two girls laying next to me. I see trees. I see windows. Name things that are current in your space. It brings you back into your body. It brings you back into the present moment in a way that nothing else can. So if you can put your hands on your animals and your pet, feel their heartbeat, feel their breathing, feel their soft fur, notice every possible detail that you can, because that brings your spirit in. And the animals are here to help us heal, to help us wake up to who we really are, and to help us remember to be love fountains and not love misers, especially in times when we all could use a helping hand. I hope you've gotten something out of this video today. If so, please like my video. And if you've gotten something out of it that helps you with your own life, helps you with another human being, helps you gift it to an animal, then please subscribe to my channel. I'll be back next week with more wisdom, more messages from the animals. I hope to see you there.